All right, partners, we're just about wrapping it up for this absolute travesty of a night for recording for me. But we have Gengar and Tsukasa as Datamines here for the new units, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at these and then call it a night, hopefully. So why don't we start things off with the artwork for the new characters, actually, since they haven't posted the Meet the Heroes yet. So we have here the new Teatime Butler Felix, I guess. It's interesting that he's called True Lone Wolf, or he has a passive called True Lone Wolf. Yet the guy here he is serving tea and sandwiches and cookies and stuff. Yeah, that's not something a lone wolf would do, Felix. Alright, so there he is getting injured a bit. Alright, next up we have Now, could you possibly have chosen a more fitting character for the tea time theme than Saline? I don't think so. So here she is. Saline with her teapot and her teacup there. Alright, nice little special effect. What are those like? Are those flower-shaped cookies? That would be my guess. You ever had those like vanilla cookies with the raspberry filling in the middle? Like that's what those remind me of. Alright, and then we got the injured artwork there. Not really too injured. This is like less injured than a lot of other injured arts. So that's nice to see. Okay, and then finally we got these two. Alright, so yeah, it really looks like Nana is going to be the main unit and Ingrid is the backpack, just looking at this artwork. Yeah, even in the attacking artwork too, it looks like Nana's the one taking the lead, and then Ingrid is like the backup. Maybe that was a last-second decision. It wouldn't be the first time that's happened, you know, because like Legendary Burger King was actually supposed to be a mythic hero according to the files. But at the last second, they decided to just change him and make him a legendary. So maybe that happened here, too. Maybe they thought Ingrid would have more sale value than Nana at the very last moment. Of course, being Three Houses a more popular game. All right, and then we got Finn, who is the Tempest Trial. They have no confidence in Finn being able to sell. This is the second time we've gotten Finn, and the second time he's been a Tempest Trial prize. Like, can we get an actual Finn on a banner, please? Like, do you guys understand how important Finn is to the story of genealogy? And they keep doing my man dirty like this. It's not cool. Would like to see some respect for Finn, please. Alright, so here's the special attack. This one looks pretty good, especially for a free-to-play art. Lots of sweets and, like, pie and cookies and all that. And this is what I was talking about. This cookie right here, this is exactly what I meant. It's like a vanilla cookie. And it's got the raspberry cream or raspberry in the middle, and it has cream on the bottom, too. It's like a sandwich cookie. If you've ever had those, let me know in the comments. I'm going to make myself hungry, by the way. Now I'm kind of craving some of those. I don't have any, though, but I feel like eating some. All right, and then the injured artwork for Finn there. Kind of a weird pose that he's doing, but, I mean, what do you expect? He's getting injured. Okay, so there is the artwork. Okay, let's move on to the stats now for the banner. And because Gengar and Tsukasa posted this, they are keeping up with the trend of posting the BSTs and the Boons and Banes right there. So Ingrid and Nana, we got 40 HP with a Super Bane. We got 46 attack, 48 speed with a Super Boon, 35 defense, and 21 res, and they have an overall BST of 190. That's good that they have a decent BST, because Harmonic Heroes don't get a dual skill increase. I'm not sure why they haven't decided to go back on that. Like, considering where we are in the game now, it wouldn't kill them to add dual skills to the Harmonic button. But I guess it is what it is. So 190 BST, that will score... Where is that going to score? That's in the same bin as Lumera and those cats, and they're from a while ago, so... Not arena-worthy scoring, unfortunately, but this unit seems pretty good. They're giving reflex support. They have that new C skill, which I think is actually insane. What's it called? Hold on. I was going to talk about it later. Attack speed Outcry Dull. It's only for melee cav. That's a really good skill. That's one of the ones you're going to want to duplicate with your attuned heroes and rearmed heroes, pretty much. So, yeah, they look really good. All right, next up we have Felix, who is basically just Brave Felix 2.0. So 41 HP with a Super Bane, 47 attack, 48 speed with a Super Boon, 38 defense, and then 24 res with a Super Boon. And then we got 198 overall BSTs, so he scores really good. He would be arena worthy if you got him to plus 10, but how good is this guy actually going to be? Now, I've heard somebody mention that this guy can't step on a trap in 8th raids without wasting his turn. Unlike the Brave Felix, who is actually able to do that. This Felix is going to get his action ended by a trap. So, you pick and choose, because then he also has true damage, a lot more true damage reduction and on AoE specials, as opposed to the Brave Felix. So, it seems like instead of being just like a straight upgrade, he's more of a side grade to the Brave Felix. But then he also comes in a different flavor, because this guy is a Lance type, and the other one is a Sword type. So if you want different color matchups, then I guess this guy could be who you want to go for. But he doesn't seem too bad, and of course the Brave Felix with his action economy abilities are certainly still able to put in a lot of work. So I don't think this guy is half bad. Alright, next up we have Saline, who is the demoted hero. So we got 36 HP with the Super Boon, 43 attack with a Super Bane, 47 speed, neutral, 16 defense with Super Bane, ouch. And then we got 41 res with a Super Boon there. Okay, so her only relevant boon is on res, pretty much. 183 BST, so she's not arena worthy. You wouldn't want to... I don't think you want to plus 10 this unit anyway. If you're summoning a lot of copies of her by accident or on purpose, she seems mainly suited to be a fodder unit. She's got a rally up plus. She's got a really good A skill. She's got attack and speed mastery, and her weapon seems pretty good too. So just all around win for this Demote character. Her skills are pretty good. The character herself, though, could probably be a little better, unfortunately. Okay, let's move on to Veronica up next. So she's got 38 HP with a Super Bane. We got 47 attack, 48 speed with a Super Boon, 21 defense, and then 25 res with a Super Boon. And then she's got 179 BST. So her BST is the lowest we've looked at, but that makes sense because Cavalry and Tome typically have less BST. What is there to really say about Veronica? She seems pretty solid. I mean, she's a nice support unit. She's got speed and res detect. She gets extra actions when she uses an assist. She inflicts debuffs on the enemies. She does a lot of bonuses for your allies. Resonant Blades, Resonant Shields. Special cooldown +1 on attack. And then, what was the debuff again? Discord and Sabotage, I think? Something like that. Like, she's got a nice debuff going on there. And then, even more, she gives exposure with Detect. So, she seems like an all-around decent unit. Pretty solid. Hard to really say how effective she's actually going to be. Her special seems pretty good, though. She gets a lot of true damage. What is it? 70% of her attack. And then potentially 80% non-pierceable DR there. So, Veronica could... it wouldn't surprise me if she's actually putting in, like, a crazy amount of work. But, she's the type of unit that I want to see in action first before I actually call any judgment on her. And then finally, we've got Finn over here serving a pie. So Finn is a sword type cavalry. We got 40 HP with a Super Bane, 48 attack, 46 speed with a Super Bane, 37 defense with a Super Boon, and then 19 res and a 190 BST. Ooh. They couldn't give this man plus attack or plus speed. They gave him plus defense. Well, it could be worse, right? It could be plus res. So I guess at least we'll take plus defense. So is he going to be a worthwhile unit as a Tempest Trial Merge project? BST doesn't really check out for Arena, so let's take a look at his skills now, and let's see if he is actually worth anything. Okay, we can make this a little bigger. All right, so Rally Up Res Plus on Saline is a 5-star skill, obviously, because it's a final, level upgraded skill. Same for Attack and Speed Mastery, but it is very nice that they gave that to her as a demote. All right, then we got Speed and Res Rain 3 at 4-star, which, again, makes sense. All right, so Finn has an inheritable weapon here, Serving Knife Plus, 14 might, 1 range. If a rally or movement assist is used by unit, grants another action. Yeah, once per turn, if another effect grants an action has been activated at the same time, like Divine Nectar or Micaiah Ring, then you only get to use this once, pretty much. And then If a rally or movement assist skill is used by unit or target's unit, grants incited and special cooldown charge +1 per attack to allies in 2 spaces and target or targeting ally after movement for 1 turn. Okay. And then if unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants all stats of 5, and unit deals +X times 5 damage during combat, where X is the number of bonuses, and bonuses on unit and penalties on the foe with a max of 5. So, yeah, it's pretty much the same weapon in sword form as the Teatime Saline has as a tome. So, it's a pretty solid weapon overall. We just recently got an arcane sword, though, on Machua. So, that's probably better. If your unit is going to be intended for combat purposes, that's probably better. But for a support type of unit, like a dancer, like if you're running the 4-star Olivia dancer that's been in the game since day 1, this might not be a bad... Well, actually, no, because the extra assist thing here, giving a bonus action, that's not going to proc on a dance, I don't think. So, okay, maybe not Olivia, but if you're running an old, like a really old sword type unit that just wants to support the team and support allies, this is not too shabby. So, yeah, I think this is fine. Actually, you know who could use this pretty well? Regan, right? Like Regan and those sword mythic heroes that are off that you got to run on offense, but you don't really want to. Like something like this would be good for them. Okay, and then for passives, he's got Speed and Defense Clash 3. We saw that in the Fate channel. And then Speed and Defense Snag 3 at 4-star. And then he's got Shove as his assist. So there we go for all that. And then the Tempest Trial Seals, thanks to Team Rocket Elite. Oh, Homeboy posts on GameFAQs, if I'm not mistaken. So shout-outs to Team Rocket Elite there. So the Tempest Trial Seals are going to be Wrath and Speed and Defense Prime. Wrath is interesting. They haven't really done anything with Wrath. I'm not sure why. Wrath is actually like one of the most popular passive skills in the main games, right? Like, if a unit in Tellius had Wrath, it's like, oh, now we're talking, right? Like Nephany, for example. I believe Nephany has Wrath. So, like, Wrath is pretty fire in the main games, but for some reason in Fae, it never really amounted to anything. Would be interesting to see a Wrath 4 at this point. But Wrath as a Tempest Trial Seal, I think it gives you +10 bonus damage when you proc a special. That's not too bad for a seal, actually. And then if you're below the HP threshold, then you just cooldown reduce every turn at the start. So it's actually not too shabby as a seal, if I think about it. And then Speed and Defense Prime is maybe not the best combination of stats for a Prime skill, but the Prime Sacred Seals are not too shabby. So there we go with that. And then, yeah, this, I just wanted to quickly talk about Outcry Dull. So I think this is a really good skill. It's only going to be for melee cavalry types, though. So if you get a copy of this extra, if you get like an extra Ingrid, immediately just dump this into one of your arcane cavalry types, like Arcane Lucina or Arcane Fallen Crom or whoever it may be. This is going to be a really appreciated skill. So yeah, that should be just about everything we need to talk about here. We can just quickly refresh and make sure we didn't miss anything. All right, yeah, I think that's just about everything. Oh, we have the Meet the Heroes too now. So that will include the artwork in slightly better quality than we looked at over here. But we already saw the artwork, so we're just going to go ahead and skip out on that. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of the new Teatime banner? It looks pretty good to me, honestly. Like, I'm pretty impressed by Ingrid, and the new passive looks really good. Felix seems solid. Like, Veronica seems solid. Saline is a pretty good demote in terms of, like, fodder skills. So, yeah, really, Finn, I think, is the only thing that could have been better. But at least his weapon is pretty good.